So Gabe comes to me and he says, "Hey, I've got this great idea. You know, it's Fabergé babies. It's 1,000 thread count toilet paper." I said, "Wow, those are some odd analogies, Gabe." And he said, "Whatever. Listen, I've already got the funding, and we're good to go." I said, "Oh, great. You know, makes my job easy. How much money do you have?" And he said, $1,300. Got $1,300. I said, "Oh, those are some small babies." You know, it's the vision that pays for a film. You know, money is just some existential anomaly. You don't really need it. I said, "Unless your vision craps Swedish fish, lunch, and a paycheck, we're probably going to have to make some adjustments, or we're going to have to find a really unintelligent crew." Well, Gabe came to me because we'd worked together before, and you know, together we came up with some really good ideas. You know, essentially ideas that he thought were his own, but I knew already existed and could take credit for. So that's always nice. Should we have done more pre-production? Probably. But you know, it's nothing that our effects team can't solve later. But basically, I met Gabe at a cafe. Well, I met him behind the cafe as I was living in a box behind it. But he was back there digging through the dumpster, looking for things to make props out of. And he saw me, and he says, "Hey, you know, you look not dead. Do you want to work on a movie?" Yeah, I thought you was dead, but you know, death is just a word. I think of death as alive, and that's exactly what he brought to the movie. Life. I mean, I used a computer when I was in the 6th grade, but you know, I didn't know that there was anything else to it than just the screen and the internet. But you know, Gabe said, "Hey, don't worry about it. I've got the whole deal. I've got, you know, Final Cut and After Effects." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Like, you've got a fairly good movie with Robin Williams, and you know, your movie's about, you know, the stock market crash or earthquakes or something." Oh yeah, man, that poor guy. He had no idea. I mean, I would have stayed behind the dumpster. I think he ended up doing like 120 effect shots. I mean, I think there's only 140 shots total in the movie. But I mean, granted, most of them were, you know, painting out C-stands and mirror boards and performances. But you know, man, talent is just a means to an end. You know, I mean, if they don't deliver, then you've just got to do it yourself. It's like the old saying, you know, those who can't do, don't, and those who don't are actors. Other than his Hitchcockian cattle prod approach to directing, well, he was fine. I mean, I signed on to the project because he had just written some excellent dialogue, and I took it as a chance for myself to spread my wings. I mean, I think he wrote like 50 pages of dialogue just for the Kronos character. Most of it happens with Diana, and she is just saying yes or why, you know, every 10 or so pages, just to let the audience know that she's still there. So, I mean, I am really excited to see how all of that will cut together. Dialogue, yeah, was unarguably the easiest part of the show for anybody, probably. But the Foley, what was kind of unique. Take this for instance. Gabe comes to me in the first Foley session, and we're doing the end of the masquerade ball scene when Grimm appears and pulling threads out of people and all that stuff. And Gabe looks at me and he says, "Just think of a Tyrannosaurus singing opera." And then he left the room. Music is undoubtedly 98% of a film. I mean, you can have almost no visual text at all and still have a movie, as long as you have music. I told him that's a soundtrack. You know, that's what it is. It's the music for the movie. It's what's, you know, under the video. I mean, you can buy it sometimes before the movie even comes out. That's actually a little bit more in our price range. Is that what you want to do? No. Well, you know, then we're going to have to find a camera or something. Well, you know, luckily, Gabe approached Derek the day before principal photography and asked him if he would shoot the film, and Derek said, okay, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. So everything that you see in the movie that is lit well or that looks good, that's Derek. And yeah, and then I filled in the gaps. So it became really important for most of our locations to have already existed, because one, of our budget, and also because Gabe would come to me with these recommendations of movies to pull from, and movies like Uncle Buck and Ace Ventura and Transformers 2, which I believe hasn't even finished filming yet. Yeah, so yeah, there were challenges. No, yes, exactly. I thought it was weird that Gabe asked me to do the effects, photography and miniatures and all that stuff, because I have 7 years experience in 3D modeling and compositing and that sort of thing. So, I mean, he must just really have an ace in the hole when it's coming to all this post work, because there's a lot. What?
Yeah, could you take off your hat?
I don't understand why I can't wear my hat.
If you would,
this is
fine. Just leave it on.
This is my favorite hat. The cave became the most difficult part as far as sets and locations. Firstly, because we couldn't fit all of the equipment, cast, and crew into Gabe's Pontiac Grand Am, so there was that, and then we couldn't find a cave. So was the second part. We decided to go with miniature. The effects, they've actually been done for some time, but Gabe refuses to watch them. I don't watch my own movies, because I've already seen them, in perfect cut, I bet. So, I mean, there's no reason really to ruin that image. No, I think overall everyone has had a good time. Well, the dude's a piece of shit. No one has slept in a year, but yeah, hey, there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, a 20-hour day is a 20-hour day. I mean, who am I to change the standard? Yeah, and then he smiled like that. It was creepy. Oh, I'm sure it'll be nothing less than decent.